Yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. The Detroit Pistons finally get a win. Damn, it's been a minute. Whew. Yo, I know we said they were going to finish a whole lot better than how they started, but it's still not looking any prettier. I'm going to dive into this in this game. Detroit Pistons versus the Brooklyn Nets. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Damn. Where do I start? Can we just go with maybe a good, bad, and an ugly, right? The good, of course, Cade and Ivy finally, both get off in the same game. Both of them finally are able to put it together offensively and have a dominant performance. I think we've seen this talent from the both of them, but never at the same time, and they finally did it. Look, if they can finish this season with stringing together, let's say 4 or 5, let's say 8 of the next 20 plus games to end the season, where both Cade and Ivy are dropping 20 plus points. If we can get that out of this pairing by the end of this season, the Detroit Pistons can check off a box and say, okay, we figured out that they can play together and what it can look like. Now, another good, I also appreciated seeing Jalen Duren start off in the post, passing and distributing out of the post. I thought that this was a great kind of wrinkle to the offense. Once again, Monty Williams experimenting, trying new things, which you always want to see from your head coach. And I think having Jalen Duren starting off in the post, deep in the post, where he had a clear advantage, which he's going to have against most teams most nights, to be able to utilize his passing acumen to hit cutters, Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson, Cade Cunningham, to be able to hit these guys cutting to the rim while the defense was focused on him because of his mismatch. I think that this is a great wrinkle to their game and something that they need to utilize more often, especially when they're in a scoring drought, which kind of brings me to the bad. Actually, I'm going to skip ahead to the ugly. How do you blow an 18-point lead, man? Monty Williams, bro, 18 points. You're up 18 points. You ain't been up 18 points in 2024. And here you are blowing an 18-point lead, allowing Evan Fournier and company to not be able to score for a stretch of, 7-8 minutes of a game? Like, at this point, you're supposed to watch that 18-point lead, and then you should have a principle of 3. You're not going to allow the other team to score 3 times in a row without you getting good looks before you're going to call a timeout and manage this game so that you don't end up in the situation you ended up in, which was losing the lead by the end of the first half. There's no way you should have an 18-point lead in the first half and then have lost it already within the first half. That's just, and when I looked at that sequence, there was just no interjection by Monty Williams. I didn't see him at a free throw break bringing Marcus Sasser over, Evan Fournier over. Hey, let's get this look. Let's make sure we go for this. Hey, this is probably our best look to get a shot opportunity for you. Hey, let's draw something up. I didn't see any of the game management that I would have expected. And that 18-point lead dwindled down. I think it was down to like 6 by the time that he started putting in the actual starters. And then all of a sudden, it's gone. That cushion was gone. I think to switch over to the bad, I think something that this team is going to have to learn is that on any given night, anybody can give it to you. Dennis Schroeder was a starting NBA point guard for the majority of his career, or at least let's say half, right? With the Atlanta Hawks winning 50-plus games, right? Deep playoff runs. He was an intricate part of that team. And he's had starting experience. He's had big game experiences. You can't give up a wide open 3 to him. You can't be slow to close out. What you're supposed to do is play solid enough, consistent, high IQ defense so that these guys who are playing Don't ever go above their averages. Okay, if they hit their average, you did enough. If they were beneath their average, you did above and beyond and had a good defensive game. For you to allow Dennis Schroeder to score over 30 points in this game, for Watford to be torching you, Lonnie Walker the fourth to be torching you, this is indicative of your defense didn't show up. And you played this game as if you're the Los Angeles Clippers or the Lakers, or you're some team at the top who can take a bottom-feeding team that's spiraling down in the rankings into the lottery. You can take them for granted. You're playing at home, you're good. You're not good, Detroit. Monty, you are not good. You guys are fighting to get 10 wins at this point in the season. You're not a good team. It doesn't mean you don't have talent. It doesn't mean you don't have potential. It doesn't mean you don't have an optimistic outlook. But for you to take this team for granted, when you had an 18-point lead, you should have been able to put the pedal to the metal and run them over. This game should never have been close. Mikal Bridges was checked out after 3 minutes. Their best player did not even want to have to come back into the game. You guys forced the coach's hand to put him back in the game. Shout out to Jacques Vaughn. I feel sorry for him. Got the axe, got fired out of Brooklyn as if it was his fault that this team didn't have enough talent to compete in the East, that they were supposed to do something different than what they're doing. I know Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas weren't playing. Spencer Dinwiddie got traded. So what? That team was never supposed to be a playoff team. It was never good enough. We all know Mikal Bridges is probably the third best player on a championship team. And that speaks to how talented he is. But it's to say that for them to take this team for granted and let them get all the way back in the game and then be in a dogfight for the rest of the game, it just shows another area of growth that they're going to have to overcome. And probably the final point is that they still don't have an identity. Look, what can we expect from this team? Are they going to be the offensive team with Bojan Bogdanovic, where, hey, defense goes to the wayside and we're just going to try to outshoot you? We're going to try to outscore you. We're going to try to execute offense to get good looks at threes, and we're going to knock them down and we're going to score, and that's how we're going to stay in games. Or are you going to be the team that you were before Bojan Bogdanovic, and it was initially Stewart and Duran and Asar and Cade. I think it was Alec Burks starting at the time, but now Ivy. And you're a defensive-focused team. You're trying to play physical. You're trying to be defensive. Because whatever it is, that's going to have to be the line that the coach is going to have to hold and the front office is going to have to empower him to do. Is to say, you will play this way no matter what. Hell or high water, rain or shine. This is how we're going to play. And that's how you create a team identity. Who you are. This is how you create a culture. And so I know we said that this is year 2 of the rebuild. Considering you brought in a new coach, you're really kind of set back even more. Kind of year 1-ish. You're in year 1.5. Because you have a new coach, new system, trying to put in a culture, trying to get an identity, trying to gain chemistry between your best players, trying to develop, trying to see what veterans work. And you really still don't know much of these answers. And so this is just, it was a good game for the Pistons. I mean, you won. I mean, it was what we call an ugly win. It was a type of win that you're like, we'll take it. Let's just go hit the showers and move on. But if this team is really going to take a step forward, they're going to have to check some of those other boxes. What is your identity going to be? What is your culture going to be? Because I didn't see guys diving on loose balls in this game. The previous game, I did. The past couple games, I did. This game, I did not. I did not see the level of intensity that I was seeing in the past, which is an indication of you guys still haven't figured that out. Monty Williams should have been benching guys for not playing the way they have designated this team wants to play. But at the end of the day, shout out, a win is a win is a win is a win. It's dope to see Ivy and Cade get clicking together. They look potent as hell when they both click together. That shooting from outside, the ability to get to the paint, Duran, Big Stu, Asar on the glass. They have all the potential in the world to be a championship team. But questions are still out there. Monty, are you the guy? Are you going to be the guy? They paid you to be the guy. But you're going to have to check some more of those boxes for us to decide on that. But as always, I want to know what you all think. Holler at me in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And I'm going to get at y'all next time. Peace.